Good morning. Sorry I had a little challenge getting in. How is everybody after the weekend? Hmm. All right. Good morning. Sorry, I had to try 3 times to get in today. So, I'm TheoSophia Rising. So glad you could join me today. I am an cosmic mentor of raising consciousness. There's a number of things I do. I do sound healing. I have a healing school, and I welcome you to my site today. If you aren't subscribed already, please do so. You can read on that side that where you need to go if you'd like to have a healing session, and also if you'd like to donate. So I'm going to shut this off. So here we are on Mondays, and usually we do healing on a Monday. We're at the Eye of Horus. I don't know if any of you saw the same information I saw, but Egypt is soon going to lose all their wonderful Egyptian temples and everything. It's underwater. Apparently, years ago, they made a dam, not understanding that as years would go on, the water there where all the Egyptian cities are would fall to having too much water in them. Interesting, because during the time of Egypt, it was too dry. So, as you are correct, a lot of all scientists now are trying to figure out, because they want to go to dig a certain area and all they find is water. So my thought was everyone should start going and writing down all the things that are written and all the images, because you never know how quick that can formulate itself. So here we are, and close to the election. I assume everyone's made their choice. I voted last week. I didn't want to miss out. I voted. So I hope that everyone gets to be able to have their say and bring forward what they want about the election. I like the idea of, oh my goodness, us all being free. Something moved. I don't know. So good morning, Carol and Anik and Marby and Barbara Ward. Certainly, I want to talk about our chakras today. It's one of the first things everyone must learn if you want to work on your energy field or raise your consciousness on who you are. But perhaps you don't know how to raise your consciousness while you're only aware of your chakras. Well, raising consciousness is a matter of heightening this, the way the chakras spin and how fast, which empowers the consciousness to come out and move and enhance your aura. So perhaps you've seen those images that have a lot of colors of aura around them. Well, there's one for now in the first 7 levels. There is a level of chakra for each chakra and body of the field. Now, if some part of you isn't functioning well today, you may want to go and make sure that it's spinning and that it's fast enough and helping you to get all the light you can. So let's go to the crown. There's one right on the crown. You have the root, which is also a flat one at the base. And then you have 5 that are flat on your stomach, which is right below the belly button is the second. Right in the middle of your stomach, which is the third. Heart, throat, third eye, and crown. So the ones that are on the crown, and this probably looks backward to you because the screen is backwards. You want to go to the left and around. And sensitivity in who you are and what you feel in your hands and the awareness of your body is a part of the growth of your consciousness. So as we're sitting here and we begin to spin our crown chakra, you're going to have a greater awareness of what size the chakra is and how fast it's spinning. So does it spin this slow? No, it actually is going really, really fast. And that's what you want to do each day is offer them that fast spiral so that they can hold a higher awareness of your consciousness and have you see with a different awareness the world and yourself. So a lot of people talk about the third eye, and that's like right here. Some people will say to touch up here. So let's take 2 fingers and touch right here and close your eyes. Now, just by doing this, some people can see an inner realm. Some people can see the outer realm, but in color. There's all kinds of different levels of sight. So if we go here and we ask to see the color violet, just put 2 fingers up at the top of the forehead. And now let's move our fingers down. And do you see violet more here at the lower level? Yes. Good. And let's ask it to spin faster. You don't have to use your hand because you can imagine that spinning faster and faster. And growth is being able to use that sight that you begin to get used to, where you can see perhaps someone's aura, or some vision can be just like a memory from another time. It's always said that a memory is that which can come to you and repeat itself. So if we go to the throat, this is known as a spot where God sits, and it's blue. And if you put your thumb in any chakra and take your hand and move it, that's the way it moves. And then we want this to move really fast. The faster as you grow and that chakra moves, the more abilities you'll have come to you in these different chakras. Now, certainly in this chakra, it's speaking. Not only speaking yourself, but perhaps speaking spirit or truth. Yes, it's not everyone who has that ability to speak truth. It's from this movement of the chakra. The ones that are this flat on the body are also in the back. And in the back, it means how you love yourself, how you accept yourself. It's a higher level of understanding of the world and consciousness. That there is no wrong and there is no right. There just is. All right. So the next one, you can see I have green here over my heart. The heart is green. And again, it moves very openly. And usually should be open to about 12 inches for the normal person that's on their path. Yes, very large. Because why? Well, we're learning about love in our consciousness. We're learning about not only loving ourselves, but how we put love in action in the world. And this experience of love is here right out in front of us as we walk. When you see people or cars moving, it's about loving them and sending out this heart energy, which is love. So let's see for a moment. Let's all imagine. And again, we're going to move it down to the left, up on the right, and see if you can get your heart chakra to maybe be about 12 inches around. Very good. And begin to see, here's the second piece. How do you feel? How do you feel about yourself? Can you feel a quickening in that chakra? And if you close your eyes, do you see green? Many times as you work with your third eye, whatever chakra you're working on is going to show itself in this vision. So right now, it would be very appropriate if people are feeling the movement of this chakra, but also seeing green. And in that, for some of you, you might see something about love in the vision or hear it. The throat isn't always speaking, but it's always hearing. So you may want to know how that is. So I'm just going to reopen this third chakra for a lot of you to perhaps have a better experience of vision of the heart. What else is inside the heart? I wonder who knows, but the soul of who we are is within our heart chakra. And there's a place where you can come into awareness because it'll know all those things about you that are from past lives. Sometimes people wonder, well, where does that all go? Well, it doesn't leave the consciousness of who you are. It is, I guess we could say, stored, but some of it has enlivened itself and it is a part of you and you're just not aware of it. For instance, maybe you were a farmer and you look around today and you have plants everywhere in your home. So a part of that experience of you who was very drawn to plants and knew how to grow them and knew how to love them, plants will respond to the love from this heart chakra. I go around and give energy to all my plants, and they like lift up, like there's a song. Ah! So if you can get your energy moving, energy comes down. There's a channel with all these chakras that we talk about. And it comes down into the heart, dips into the love, and then comes out your hands. So when you're motioning anything or doing anything with your hands, you're doing it in a loving energy. So you can go around and fill the room with love from this heart space. But if you're someone who's curious about who you've been, you want to sit your awareness inside this third chakra and also let yourself come down in the heart where your soul lies. When I first saw, I can remember, I saw a lot of wars, and I really didn't understand what that meant. Vivid, one after another, like I was watching videos about wars. But what I now understand it to be is I had been in a lot of wars. Most of us have. There's been so many wars throughout time that how many times many of us have lived, we've experienced wars. So I just watched, and in the process, it was opening my third eye and letting me have an understanding of what it felt like. Evolving in consciousness is a lot by how do you feel? What am I experiencing? What does love feel like? Do you know that I have over the years had people tell me they don't know? They don't know if they receive love, let alone to know if they know how to give love. And it can be very cold, if you want to use a word. It can be very, very non-feeling unless you've worked on this heart and have it give you feelings. In the sight, it all comes together for the experience of who you're becoming. And the more you have it all in alignment, the more that you work every day and give energy to the chakras to open, the stronger you are in the awareness of what spirit is, what a human is that has an aura, and what it all means for you. You're on a journey that you've certainly been here before, walked a space before, had chakras, and yet maybe you don't know what all happened before at other times. You know, everything's happening right now, all these different lifetimes. It's an illusion to think that it's so far back we can't go and get it. It's right here. It's all right here. And that depth of your experience is that then what you can go through the chakra system and discover. Okay? So we're going to go to the third chakra. This is your mental body. My vision has always been, I see like LA traffic. It's so busy, which, believe it, there was a time it was busier, but I can do my meditation and I'll see just a space of brilliant yellow. Now, this is where you can say, I am God. That's what that chakra is about. But it also can represent the struggle in the world. This is where you have denial, where you have not wanting to conform. A lot of energy of different things are in that third chakra, and how we choose to live and be. If I go to work with people, usually it's about whatever the struggle is and to move it and get rid of it. So how do we do that? Through healing. It isn't that we take something away from you. We transform that through a different perception of what's really there. Or bring an awareness to you that you're perceiving from a place of untruth. And when you bring the truth of love of self and how it all works together, it makes sense. So it's great. So second chakra, which is down on below the belly button, is orange. And it is full of emotions and relationships. And again, depends on who you are, how long you've been on your journey, how do you interact with people, how do you react. But they're emotions. And once you have emotions healed, for instance, an emotion is grief. So once you can move into the understanding that there is no such thing as death or missteps, there's no mistakes, everything is a lesson, then this second chakra begins to have a different frequency and feeling to it. And you move forward on your journey very differently. There's also the front of the chakra and the back of the chakra. So the front of the chakra is your emotional experience in your humanity until you reach a point to where maybe you're enlightened or have a different awareness. Now that back chakra has how you feel about money. Now you wonder, why would that be such a big thing in a chakra? Think about anybody you know that wouldn't have an investment in how money is in their world. Whether it was in the Egyptian times, and there were those that were very well off and had everything, and then there was those who stomped the grass in the mud to make the cement for what they were making. Everybody has a growth in their experience about what money means to them and how, again, because it's that chakra, how they interact or react to it. And the other important piece that's here in this back of the second chakra is your identity. How do you feel about yourself? Well, this can go on forever. And for many people, it's one of the last things you look at. So, have you learned how to love? And have you learned acceptance? The identification of self is an acceptance of you, and to what level that you're willing to do that. Can you accept the crazy things you do? Because if you cringe every time someone gives you a look like, oh no, well, who are you? Those issues are all right here in this back chakra. But it's also why people who have money issues have low back pain. You can understand it's this chakra that's tightening up, not letting it have its full spin, moving out to 12 inches or whatever it needs to do. It's hindered from expressing itself. So the main thing you want to be doing as you're growing is be aware of that back second chakra, and far out from that will be your true experience, your beingness in light. Not everyone can see it, but it can begin to show itself to you the more you work on yourself. But it's a very interesting perception, and you would have to get through not only the emotional, but how you feel about money, how you feel about yourself, before you can begin to get the glimpse of your true experience in your illumined beingness. Now, the final chakra we're going to talk about today is number 1, the root chakra. So you can say to me, well, you can't wait to hear what this one's about. Well, there's 3 pieces to it. The number 1 piece that most people are using is that it brings safety. And most people don't feel safe, whether it's their world, the people around them, their situation, how they're living. Everybody wonders, how the heck did I get here? But it also has a vitality and vitality and a way of being that it brings you. So if you're not rooted, one of the first and most important things it is for every individual to do is to get rooted into the earth. Now, why is that different? So let's think of a minute for a person who's very emotional. That's chakras going crazy and doesn't have any balance. They're hard. They don't know how to love. They're afraid to love. They've been hurt. They don't know how to speak about it. And they're up and float up and talk from imagination, a land, an experience, a day that doesn't even exist. It's a way of hiding, of not really wanting to know. As we go to bring our energy down and into these chakras, what we go and believe the path of rooting is, then you're present. And what they have found, for those of you who are allergic, sitting and or not being able to sit in the root can demonstrate how much you are okay with being here on earth or not okay with being here on earth. So allergies could lean towards being not here. So as you can get your body used to sitting into the root, sitting there and going, and begin to know it goes all the way into the earth, which is to the center of the earth, which is a long way. Because being rooted doesn't mean to go down 3 or 4 feet. It means to go all the way down into the earth and be in the experience of Mother God. So I've talked to a lot of people over the years, and oh yeah, I'm rooted. And then I look at them and their aura is like way up here and it's all in a disarray. It's why they don't feel well. Because when you can get down in the root, safe, you are safe. A lot of people don't know the meaning of that word, or at least don't live it every moment. And it's one of the greatest gifts we've been given. And yes, is our aura relatively huge, more than what an eye can see? And yes, it is. You have to be down into this root. You have to go into the consciousness of Mother, deep in the center of the earth. For me, I actually see the different levels of the earth as I go through them. And you'll reach a point where it is quiet. Just quiet. Did you feel that? We just keep going down and down and down and down till we're quiet. Then you look around and there's a beach in front of you. You've reached the center. Mother has a house up on the ledge for each and every one of you to come to. To get there, you have to go all the way down and accomplish being rooted. There's no halfways when you're working with Mother and Father. You either do it or you don't. So if it takes you a while to practice this, that's fine. But what does it mean then? It means that your chakras are all working better because they've come to some level of balance. You'll see more. You'll find you speak clearly. Your heart will feel the greater love of her experience there for you. Everything works better. So first thing in the morning where you've gotten to where you want to be prepared for the day, you want to open these chakras and get down into the earth. Now, in the beginning, I know for myself, I had to do it every hour because it was a foreign thing to me. I was living out here in this world. I didn't know that for all those years I had lived it. I was running around with my head cut off. Maybe some of you might feel that way. But if you start taking yourself down into the earth every day, there's a peace that comes over you, a harmony. And there aren't always a lot of words to speak profound experiences of Mother and Father. But when you get that feeling, you'll know that you're there. And if that's so, then we can go in our heart and we know Mother and Father can also be in your heart with you. That's one of the first things we do usually here is go into the heart, bring Mother and Father into your heart. Why? Because You want to feel what they feel. What does it feel to be them? To be all the love there is, to have all the gifts there are. So as you choose to sit there and allow it to be so, how wonderful is that? All right. And somewhere I'm hearing. Can someone let me know that you can hear me, or have I been talking to myself? I don't know. So Carol, are you there? Oh, it says I'm live. All right. So now we're down into the root, and I have a text, so I guess I'm all right. And now we're in Mother. That rooting will be such a secure thing that you can move up and into a chakra of the heart, but you'll always be rooted for that day or for that moment unless you bring yourself. Oh, here's Marby. Oh, people who weren't showing themselves can hear me. That's a kind of a miracle thing. Thank you for letting me know. Because I wasn't getting any interaction at all. So what I'm sharing with you is a main cornerstone to becoming more than you are and what you desire to be. So yes, it's every day. You work and open these chakras and feel them. Let them speak to you. You want to become one with all this chakra system. Eventually, as you grow, the chakras will shift as you move into mastery, and it won't be so important. But right now, where you are, whether you're someone who might want to heal someone, or you might just want to feel wonderful. How powerful is that to just want to feel wonderful? You'll do that with these chakras that are open. And feeling. You want to feel. If you don't have the capacity of feeling what's going on, because you know your mind can play tricks on you until you get it solidly down into your consciousness. You can think one thing and it's not real at all. I call it the whole pretending scenario. Now, imagination's one thing, pretending's another. Imagination is 99% accurate, and pretending is from the ego and can totally blow everything out of the water for you. So you don't want to have that. I've met people who will sit before me, maybe not aware how good my vision is, and say, yeah, every chakra is open. Every chakra is open. And I feel them. Thank you, Annick, also. And Tanny. And they'll all be a mess. So it's not for you to be afraid about what other people see, but people will know when they meet you if you're a centered, balanced person. Because when one of these are down writing its own book or whatever, there'll be more than just you that know. The world is becoming now where a lot of people have sight. And sight is many things. I can see you as if I met you on the street with my sight. I also went through a period where my sight went black and I had to see everything as x-rays and know how to work with it. There's just so many levels of what sight can be for you. And if it shows up for you that way, it's purposeful for you to have that depth of understanding about things. Because when you let the universe know that you're ready to learn and to grow and to become someone, it's going to support you in doing it. So you can't get upset and You just got to go, well, how do I figure this out? What does this mean? Because the whole process is you're mostly here to figure yourself out. To how do I feel about that? What does that mean to me? And the places where we have difficulty is where not only our chakras, but our whole body holds tension and anger. All those things are in this body we have, and most of us left it in there, or we're either came back for a reason. Many of us were very high beings and gave up 93% of who we were to come back to help Earth at this time. And we're kind of living in that right now. We're either going to survive or we're going to go to who will know what. But we understand to study to get back what we're doing. It's taken me 40 years to get back to where I most likely was. So, and so many things will be a feeling like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. And there'll be so much no resistance that you move rather quickly. So for those, yes, I hear you, Barbara, and I agree with you, but there are people who do resist it. Even though they will say that's what they want, they just have trouble with it. But I honor your courage. The chakras are speaking every day. And throat chakra, we have to hear it or we have to see it. Most importantly, we have to let our heart understand it. Because the truth of our heart, remember, is Mother and Father's existence there. So you have this huge aura out around you. It'll go through changes. Right now, at first, maybe most of you are earthly people, but then you'll become a different kind of being and have just large graphs in your I am presence. I'm sure you've seen pictures. I don't think mine, big one here, shows. Let's see if I can get it to you here. Yeah. Well, you can see the I am presence there. This is you down here. You have the violet flame around you. But those rings of light are your I am presence that are clean, purified. That's who you really are. In the middle is your higher self. Why? It's your energy of source that's trying to help you understand how to get to that point, the I am presence. That's why our first way of healing ourselves is, beloved, I am presence bright. Round me, seal your tube of light. That's what that whole image is about. And if you don't do that, then negativity and negative beings or whomever can come in and act out differently than what you want them to. So today we're starting and understanding there is an aura. We all have one. Yes. Some of us may have an aura where there's a huge eagle that comes up and stands in you. And that's just an old totem that's being a part of who you are, bringing strength into you. Doesn't mean you're an eagle. It means that totem will come and be there for you in strength whenever you might need it. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the entire chakra system? I guess I talked a little bit long. For me, it's a treasure because I know as you work with it, the gifts it brings you and the ease that brings you into life. And people think they can't change your life. But when you begin to understand and have touched yourself and healed the pieces of you that came with a wound, life does change. It becomes calmer. You become calmer. You can live in the world without fear. because you become at peace, knowing that you're not going to draw any of that to you. What you bring to you is love, and that's what's going to be in your aura. And I have met people that were totally pink. I have one person I work with, she was always pink. Now I've met her years later, and now she's not pink. So we're working on going back, because what was that pink part of her, and where did it go? The answer is life happened. And she got to where she couldn't manage it to keep it in the love. Couldn't understand why things were happening, reacted, got angry. All these kind of things we all have the capacity to do every day, but it's right here inside you. And you are at choice. Number one, to know you are at choice of what you do with your chakra system. And yes, you become more intelligent, if you want to call it that, but you become awake. That's why it says that right now we are in a time of awakening. That's why I come here all the time, try to help all of you. I'm sorry, I'll take back the word try. I choose to help if you come to have you understand awakening. So today was just another level of putting awakening in your pocket. And maybe today at some point you might want to sit down and wonder what your chakra is saying to you, and begin to feel the energy. You'll get to where is this chakra open this big? Do I have a chakra that's open this big? Number one, I could tell you by how you are. Because if you're short-tempered, it's going to be clogged and about this big. And people don't know that. Like, they try to act like they're this big person when they're this little chakra. So you want to get to where you're truthful with yourself, truthful with your experience on the earth plane, because that's what you're here for. We are in, first you come into classroom, earth. Some of you are becoming in the university, but there's always more to learn. There's always more to do. I'm talking the simplicity, core essence here that you will have with you forever. Then there becomes a planetary level. Then there becomes a universal level. All that you need to develop. And that is what it's about. Because then you can speak about anything or know anything, not from a know-it-all place, but just at a peaceful place that you don't even have to speak it because you know it. Yeah, okay. And that's who everyone would be best becoming. Or why you come here, you go somewhere else, and what you're doing is to evolve. You want to awaken. There's a consciousness in your being, in your heart. Oh, Lauren just got her Wi-Fi back. Good. So if you need to go through and hear this again, certainly do so. Because if you're not doing this, you're not evolving. You're not awakening. You don't get it. Today was a good reminder. It's not just an exercise, but it's developing a relationship with our chakras. It is. It's not just something you could do. It is something that is, in my book, required. In my book, it's required. And from there, we'll talk further. And what do you do then? So you've said, you've opened your chakras. See, just moving mine, I get the chills because they are awake. You should be able to feel energy to where you get trembles and know what it's speaking, but then you want to be able to understand what that's saying. Okay? Any questions? I'll stay on for a moment. I talked a long time. But you can see that it's a discussion I'm passionate about. I work with a lot of people on it, with school and all. And it's amazing the differences people are making in their own lives. Okay, let me explain to you how chakra is spelled. Chakra, chakra. So when you open your chakra, you could, but why would you? That would probably be painful, and you don't want to close them. You want them open, because when a chakra is closed, not good things are in there. Because remember, all your inners of your body are reacting. Energy comes into your body through your chakras, and that's how healthy you are. Okay, so I'm considered now 99% healthy. So my chakras are open, they're singing, and all my heart, my liver, everything's receiving all this light. You want to become light. When it's closed, you're going to be dark, and things are going to burble up and say things to you as to why that isn't healing and isn't happy. So, no closing the chakras. We want to open them up and thrive. And the more you do, the more awake you are, the more you're going to understand things. Let's remember, wisdom is in the heart. I'm the goddess of wisdom. People think wisdom is up here. This is intellect. They're different. Intellectuals learn about this world in books, but wise people learn also in books, but also from that place within you that remembers all you've ever been, perhaps better than a book you've lived there. So the heart is the greatest wisdom, and that's a yellow color that you can have. Intellect is learned. Different words mean different things. Okay, anybody else? Again, Marby, I'll spell that word for you. Chakra, chakra. Mm-hmm. Different colors, different levels. In healing school, we go through learning the different petals upon them. A lot of healing comes through. A lot of different healings have been generated and are now done through the chakras. You're very welcome, Marby. Anybody else have a question? I'm hearing to mention sound for a moment. How sound is going to become the next biggest, or if it isn't already, way to heal. And why? Because chakras move with frequency. So as you make a sound, let's see, if I make one, let's listen. It's an easier way to release distortion, which everyone on this path is about releasing the illusion of whatever's held there. So how can you do it the most optimum way? Is through sound. And today I use it not all the time because some people can't handle that level of a frequency yet. So we're moving towards it. Big science is doing a lot with sound, and they're not going to do it all because not all of us as humans are ready yet for that frequency. We are a frequency. Each chakra has a different frequency, and that movement of that creates your world being different. All right. No other questions? Well, I wasn't implying that people here didn't know chakras, but there's always more to learn. You never want to shut yourself down like, oh, yeah, I got that. Just as soon as that happens, something's going to come up, and you're going to wonder, well, how the heck does that happen? I thought all my chakras were open. Well, they are a finicky group, and open to them is different than what open to you is right now. And it's a very powerful thing. So thank you all for coming and hearing me. And I'll see you tomorrow with messages. And I hope you all have, in this beautiful aura you are, let's bring in that love and I presence bright round everyone and seal their life. From ascended master flame called forth now in God's own name. Let it keep their temple free from all discord sent to them. I'm calling forth the violent fire to blaze and transmit all desire. Keeping on in freedom's name till I'm one with the violet flame for each and every one of you 3 times around. Yeah, see in front of chakras. So everyone's been blessed. And the best thing to do is not have someone do your chakras for you. Lauren, if you were here listening, you need to know how to do your own chakras. Not something Metatron is too high of a being to do your chakras for you. I'm sorry. But this is a part of your own beingness. And until you do that and own that, you're not going to do it. I know Metatron, and he does not do that type of thing. So there you go. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.